John Lennon was born on October 9, 1940 in Liverpool. John was an English singer, songwriter, and peace activist who co-founded the Beatles. Throughout his life, he faced the fear of deportation from President Nixon, who later succeeded in doing so. John had been an advocate for promoting peace and not war. In 1970, Lennon released his debut solo album after breaking up with the Beatles. He followed that project with 1971's Imagine, that was later named number 3 on the Rolling Stone magazine's all-time best songs list. He continued to write songs alongside his wife, Yoko Ono, until he later was killed in December of 1980 by a crazed fan named Mark David Chapman. John Lennon and Give Peace a Chance talked about all the hate going on in the world. With war going on, everyone has something they are angry at. People pick groups, people, and things to blame for what's going on, especially during the war. John writes this song alongside his wife Yoko Ono to show people how they should be aware of the hate they are spreading and to stop it. Spread peace instead and stop blaming others for their own personal hate. In the song Give Peace a Chance, John Lennon sings, "Everybody's talking about bagism, shagism, dragism, madism, rageism, tagism, this-ism, that-ism. Ism, all we're saying is give peace a chance." In this song, John is talking about how everyone is so up in their heads about being against something. Everyone has an issue of some sort with something going on in the world. But if we just come together and bring about peace, the world would be a better place. John is telling people to give it a chance. Think about how effective it would be. Avoid all the drama and fake issues and just get along with your neighbor. This lowers violence and unnecessary hate, declines tension, and could even help business. If everyone worked together in harmony, the world would be less corrupt. If everyone opened up their perspective, people would get along better.
Imagine there's no heaven.
John Lennon wrote this song, Imagine, to further his promotion of peace, the message of peace and unity among the nation. He felt the nation was divided instead of united. This was a crazy idea to some. They didn't believe it was possible to become united. He continues to say how there are people just like him, dreamers, who believe this is an achievable goal. It is not a far-fetched idea that cannot be contained. People just need to believe in change to make it possible. In this song, Imagine, John Lennon sings, "Imagine there's no countries, it isn't hard to do, nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one." Everyone has a purpose in life, something they would risk their lives for, something they believe in. Not everyone has the same religion and beliefs or values. But the issue is when one's beliefs start to discriminate against others. It causes hate and ostracism in society. But if you take a step back from your beliefs, what you truly are left with is nothing to fight for, nothing to die for. We would all be the same, have the same desires. There would be peace and cooperation, no hate or discrimination. As John says, he is a dreamer. He dreams that peace could be possible in society, where there would be no unnecessary war and hate. He wishes to all get along and stop using our beliefs as a mechanism to shield us from fear. Many people had similar beliefs and were also dreamers like John. Before the song was released, there were over 10 protests worldwide against entering the war. Sometimes our beliefs shield us from our perspectives because we only see what we want to see. We believe that our perspective is superior to any others. But if we imagine we're all the same as everyone else, it makes us all the same. And how could you hate someone who is just like yourself? You can't. That's why there would be peace. John sings this song in hopes that someone will see this perspective and rid their life of hate, selfishness, and see the world as equal.
Okay. People keep asking you questions about Vietnam. Does this seem useful?
It seems a bit silly to be in America and for none of them to mention Vietnam as if nothing was happening.
But why should they ask you about it? You're successful entertainer.
That is why because Americans always ask showbiz people what they think about it. So do the British, you know. Showbiz, you know how it is. But I mean, you've just got to, you can't just keep quiet about anything that's going on in the world unless you're a monk.
In the song Bring on the Lucy, John focuses on a different audience, the government, but more directly, President Nixon. He believes the Vietnam War was mainly Nixon's fault, and he wasn't alone. People protested and revolted against Nixon for sending people's sons, husbands, and family to war that didn't need to be fought. People felt as though they didn't have a say, because in reality, they didn't. All their power and decision was made by the president and Congress. Many people felt betrayed and unheard. As the war dragged on, it continued to go nowhere and felt as though people were fighting for nothing. In this song, it talks about how desperate people were to end this war and how they weren't sure when it would end. It made the people feel powerless. In the song Bring on the Lucy, John states, "You're making all our decisions. We have just one request of you, that while you are thinking things over, here's something you just better do. Free the people now. Do it, do it, do it now. Well, we were caught with our hands in the air. Don't despair, paranoia is everywhere. We can shake it with love when we are scared, so let's shout it aloud like a prayer." Freeing the people, freeing the troops will bring about peace and love at home, but could cause trouble overseas. Although John made a political point, he didn't have a direct answer to solving the troubles of the Vietnam War. He was directing his song to Nixon for making this decision to enter the war without listening to the voice of the people first. People were afraid this war would never end due to the longevity. Nixon pretended not to see the paranoia and how scared people were. He didn't comfort the people by giving a statement. He just let the war drag on. It was a lost cause to most that was just a war of death opposed to accomplishing anything. He just wanted to bring about peace and love and wasn't sure how to do it. So, John wrote this song just to bring up the spirits of those affected by the war, which was the majority. I believe that John was fighting for something much bigger than himself. He just wanted the world to be in peace. Honestly, I do not think that is achievable. There will always be hate and violence in the world. You can't get rid of something that many people believe in. Organizations and religions, such as terrorist groups, believe violence is the answer. The government, FBI, and so on have been working on ending such groups, but have failed. We cannot control one's beliefs, but instead contain it. I do, however, believe John has made an impact on a lot of people and sparked a revolution of unity. In the song, Give Peace a Chance, he tries to show how stupid all the hate is. He makes it seem so simple to throw out hate and enforce peace. But it is hard to do, to not be mad at anyone or anything. I do believe the song made people think differently about the way they think. So in that perspective, the song did make a positive impact. I think that this song, Imagine, was one of John's most effective songs. It is a very well-known song that is still sung today. Many of John's songs continue to be applied to today's society. Peace is an ongoing battle. The song really makes you take a step back from everyday reality and struggles and realize what's wrong with the world. There's a lot of issues in the world that could be fixed with peace. Imagining this perfect world could give someone a reason to fight for. Lastly, in this song, Bring on the Lucy, he really narrows his focus down, which I think is a good way to switch up his revolution. He continues to fight for peace, but sort of puts blame on why we don't have peace. He focuses on ending war and one step towards ensuring peace. He isn't so broad about peace and what he wants to see. He says this is why there's hate and paranoia in the nation. This is how you can fix it, which is a more direct approach than I think really caught people's eyes. Overall, I think the 3 songs above were impactful in many ways. It brought about attention to the Vietnam War and how much of an issue it caused to the nation. John's lyrics really focus on how Nixon went behind people's back and made a decision without the people's consensus. Without these songs, peace wouldn't have been an option or even something so widely addressed. John gave the people a voice and showed them it was okay to speak your mind. It is our right. He voiced what everyone was thinking and started a movement that has impacted society forever.